Man, what you don't realize how bad audio quality is until you realize and re-listen to the episode from yesterday, which was absolutely horrible because the software I used to record got switched over to my MacBook Air, and I didn't. And this particular episode, I did not re-listen to, which usually I do, and I didn't notice the sine wave was looking different when it does with this episode or with this microphone that you're normally used to hearing me on. So I apologize for yesterday's audio not being where it needed to be. But the content was still good, and I hope that you got something out of it. Today, I want to tell you a story that also happened yesterday, but a different kind of story. So through this process of talking about fatherhood, trying to build this business, trying to do this, let's call it, I've been trying to knock on doors, get plugged in, figure out where this could get traction. And in that mode, it's been very difficult. For example, as of yesterday, it was 1,205 days since Military Veteran Dad launched in 2019. For 1,205 days, I have been trying to knock on doors, get inside the system to be able to speak to this message that you've been hearing and get connected to the people that could potentially really need this kind of work, this kind of information, and just someone caring about that space. Been extremely difficult and always just this difficult emotion to process, to keep going, to get back up, tie my boots, and get going again. And so yesterday, I had an action that I've been putting off for about 8 months, and a conversation with my good friend, John Wayne Mullins, and we were talking about getting connected with different services, services on base, and I was like, you know what? I still have an action to call the United States Marine Corps headquarters and just say, I have a solution, you have a problem, I'm the perfect plug for your solution. So I decided to look up the headquarters Marine Corps phone number. There was a bunch of departments listed, and one of them was for workforce development, which this information could tie directly to what they do. No one answered, left a voicemail, but I can tell you, man, was my heart racing in that phone call. I mean, just ringing. I was like, how do I not sound like an idiot? How do I not sound like I'm selling something to the government? And how do I just get excited about what I'm ready to talk on the phone for? Never had to worry about that, just left a voicemail. Even as the point of this recording, I have still not heard anything back. But the second call was to the chaplain office. So I already knew at headquarters there was the commandant's office, which is all of Marine Corps forces across the world, and there is also a headquarters chaplain office. So Googling again, United States Marine Corps chaplain office gives me a phone number. I start calling, it starts ringing. Lo and behold, someone picks up, and it's a chaplain, the chaplain that manages all chaplains in the United States Marine Corps across 27 countries. And I was like, whoa, here we go. This is it. And so then that conversation turned into a really good 10-minute conversation where I got his email. Now, it's still unknown what's going to come from that, but I did something that was really scary, And applying what I always say in here of saying hello, and that's the single most powerful word, is the word hello. And what you can do on the other side of that is essentially what I did. And now open up a whole new world of opportunity potentially where this could get plugged in. Why I say all this is because essentially it boils down to this. This is the major lesson out of that, and this is the major lesson that I already knew but didn't know how to apply. So I'll go back a little bit of where I first heard this lesson. And essentially it boils down to listening to people in the Marine Corps, staff NCOs, officers get really upset at junior Marines who are emailing, who are doing their job, but they're not getting responses back from people that they're asking questions to. And then someone out of their office yells, just pick up the phone and call them. I heard that many times. And essentially that's the advice that I used and applied. I picked up the phone and I called them to get what I want, to skip the process of email, to skip all this BS that can get in the way. Just pick up the phone and call them. Such a simple idea, but worked. And essentially that lesson is whatever it is you want, know what you want. Find the person that has it and just pick up the phone and call them. So whatever this means for you, just ask for what you want. Call that person. Worst thing that can happen is it's a no. And the most important part that I've been really biasing towards my thinking on is once I know, I know. Now I know workforce and development does not return phone calls. Chaplains, they answer the phone. And so think about in your life what you may not be focusing on, what you might not be recognizing, and what you might not be bringing to the surface to change your life, to make momentum, to make whatever shift you're looking to do. That is all I have for you this week. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll be back again to repeat this on Monday.